Welcome to the American Council of the Blind of Virginia's Voices of Vision, a live Zoom broadcast where we conduct 30-minute interviews with inspiring guests making an impact in the blind and low vision community. ACBVA is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We appreciate your support. Enjoy the show.
uh, Voices of Voices of Vision. I am now with Deborah Hills.
Hi.
Hello, Deborah.
Hi, everyone.
And then we have, of course, the very beautiful Teresa Breeden, who is the treasurer of the American Council of the Blind of Virginia. She's kind enough to support us with technical issues. And then we, of course, today have our two guests, Mr. Sam Joehl and Vicki Ratcliff. They are going to talk about several things, so I will let them introduce themselves during my question. And we're going to start with Mr. Sam Joehl. Hi, Mr. Sam Joehl. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, likewise. And then we are actually interested in how you came across ACBVA and also what have you done for the visually impaired, including the non-visual persons and the persons with low visions.
Well, what have I done for the blind and visually impaired
Yeah, and
community?
how did you come across
Yep.
ACBVA?
Well, what have I done for them? Not enough. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
How I became involved with the American Council of the Blind of Virginia was so my brother and I used to get the magazine, the Braille Forum publication of ACB, growing up as kids, and then when I went to college, I applied for a scholarship with ACB, and that's how I got involved with ACB and the student organization, and I got involved with my state affiliate uh, where I was living at the time, and then in 2007, I moved to Virginia to take a new job. And knowing about ACB, I wanted to meet other blind folks in the area and have a network of blind people to connect with. And so I found what was then called the Old Dominion Council of the Blind and Visually Impaired. And I found them through ACB and got connected with them and got on the email list and started getting connected with the Northern Virginia chapter and served on the board of the Old Dominion Council, which is now the ACB of Virginia, and was involved on and off for quite a while. And then in 2018 or 2019, I believe I was asked to serve as president of ACB of Virginia, and I served 2 terms as president. And currently, I serve on the programming committee. And I'm one of the co-chairs for that. The programming committee designs the programming for the monthly meetings and for the upcoming state convention and plans all of the programming and the speakers and the sessions that we have each month. And I'm also involved with other committees as well.
Mm. So I think we are going to ask Deborah to ask the second question because we're going to go with Vicky after Mr. Sam. Is that going to be okay, guys?
It's fine with me.
Vicki, I think I have you introduce yourself as well so we can have a little background
That's right.
about you and see who learn more about how you came to know about ACBVA.
I'll start by saying I've been blind all my life. I was a premature baby, as a lot of children had too much oxygen, and I went to college and majored in French, and then I started working with the government also, and um, and I like doing different hobbies like travel and just getting out and about and reading and cooking and just a lot of different things. ACB, well, mine is a little bit of a different story. I knew about ACB believe, starting in 1984. I didn't join the chapter, but I did join the computer user group in ACB. And so I did go to several conventions. And then I retired in 2006. And Pat Beatty, who I know maybe you guys don't know her, but the old timers will. And I saw her in 2007 and she said, "Why don't you join the chapter? We have a lot of new people coming in." And so I did. And then in 2009 to 2012, I was president of the chapter and uh, did a lot of stuff. Well, I tried to anyway, to get people out and about and but we had meetings every month and everything. And I really like, even now, working to help out ACB and especially ACB of Virginia. And I think it's great that we're getting a lot of new members. And I went to Texas this past summer for the national convention and had a very good time. Attended some sessions of the convention, went to the exhibit hall. I took several tours. So, there's something for everybody at the national convention. If you can ever go there, please do it.
Great, great. Well, we are so excited to have two leaders in our midst. And thank you both for all that you have done in your service to the community. And you both spoke about the conventions. And so now we're going to segue to talk about our very own state convention, which is coming up in October 17th through 19th. And we are excited to share that Sam and Vicki will both be leading a workshop together at the convention. And so we'd like for you both to kind of share with us your workshop title and how you came up with this great idea.
All right. Well, I don't have the title in front of me at the moment, but I will tell the story of how this idea came about and what the workshop is about. And so, as I mentioned, I'm on the program planning committee, and we were trying to come up with ideas for our monthly meetings. And there was one month where we weren't sure if we were going to get speakers. And I came up with the idea of, we should have some sort of a session where members can contribute their ideas and their techniques and tips for basically how they manage themselves in their daily living. And I was thinking, we all have to take care of ourselves. Most of us take care of ourselves, and we have to perform various tasks as part of daily living, such as cooking, cleaning, um, shopping, right, organizing things, labeling things, right. There are all these different tasks and challenges that we have to do and face, that we have in common. And I was thinking that a lot of members probably don't do things the same way, and they might each have their own way of doing things. They might have ways of doing things that are more efficient, or they may have tips and tricks that other people don't know. And I was just thinking, our membership is a wealth and a wellspring of knowledge and information, and we really don't tap into that enough. We tend to get speakers, whether they're speakers from our own membership, or we bring in outside speakers, and we have somebody give us essentially what's kind of like a lecture or a presentation about different topics. But we all know a lot about being blind and living as blind and visually impaired people, and we have a wealth of information to share with each other. And so this is really an attempt to start that platform where we're contributing, and we're giving ideas of, well, maybe I have a pattern for vacuuming the floor that's more efficient than what somebody else is using, right? So we can contribute our ideas to help each other out, with the various tasks that we have to face on a day-to-day basis.
All right. Well,
And Vicki?
yes. Vicki, would you like to share anything else about the idea in and of itself? It's exciting.
Yeah, yes, I would. How I found out about it was Roseanne called me after I got back from the convention and asked me would I consider, being on the panel about daily living skills. And I know if people are newly blinded, there is a lot to learn, but I would say try different things that you can do. I love to cook, I have to tell you guys. And I love going on the recipe swap on the community calls. And every other week, we have different recipes in terms of themes. And it's really a lot of fun. And you get all the documents if you want them for recipes. But even if you only do a little bit in cooking, it does help to know if you have company coming over and you would like to have something, or if you're going to a potluck supper and you want to take a dish that you've made at home. And I just think the other thing that I would say is and this is not only for cooking, but if you have an item in your home, put it in the very same place all the time. Otherwise, you'll be looking around it forever. And that has happened when people have come and moved something in my
That's right.
place. So, and I'm sure at the convention, we will also have more discussion. And I'm happy to serve on the panel. In the meantime, you could go into the Blind Kitchen, which is a website, and Deborah is, I forget her last name, but it's a really good
Yes.
website. Yes.
So should we start, Deborah? Should we start rooting for sample, sample, sample? So she doesn't cook.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you can bring some of that great food to the convention.
Well,
That's right.
maybe I'll make some well, maybe I'll make some cookies or fudge. Aren't they having a silent auction or something?
Yes, yes,
Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
Teresa will share more about how you can help with that.
Yeah, at the end of the show. But anyway, I'm gonna go to our next question for the both of you. While you were preparing this workshop, have you ever thought of benefits, like as what you have a bit tackled on a while ago, of what benefits the low vision and the people with who are visually impaired could get out of this workshop? You could start with Sam.
Well, we hope this is going to be a very beneficial workshop for the blind and visually impaired community. It is going to be participant driven. I keep telling the convention organizers that if people show up at this session expecting me to give them a bunch of life hacks for better daily living, they're going to be sorely disappointed, because I am certainly not an expert in this field. I'm not an accomplished chef or anything like that, and I function just well enough to get by, right? And so I'm really looking forward to what information members have to share, and certainly don't feel compelled to participate. Don't let that scare you away from showing up. There's certainly uh, things that you can learn from our members, and I think our members probably do have a wealth of knowledge. As Vicki mentioned, she loves to cook. There are probably other people in the organization who enjoy cooking, and if not, I'm sure there are people who could learn a lot from Vicki about some of the ways that she prepares food. And we all could benefit from learning. How can you tell when water's boiling, or how can you tell if your ground meat is brown? And different things, that techniques and ideas that we can share with each other of ways and alternative techniques and hacks that we've used to help ourselves to get by, or to function better in our homes and in our daily lives. So I'm really hoping, not only a good exchange of information between members, uh, in terms of things that they can do to be more independent and efficient, but also just to begin this sharing of information within our membership, because I really would like to encourage that. I think we all have a lot to offer each other in terms of knowledge, information, and expertise, and we can really help each other out and be a support to each other.
Mm-hmm. And Miss Vicky?
Even along the way, when I first got my first apartment, I was like 23, and you all are going to get a kick out of this, because mom and I went shopping, and I went to the grocery store, and so I had a bunch of frozen foods, and I made braille labels But guess what? The next day when I looked in the freezer, the ice had taken all the braille off the
Oh,
boxes. So
oh,
yes,
oh.
mom came over again just to see, and we put them like in plastic bags. So even something like that in the freezer does help. But one thing I think that I should say is if you're learning new techniques, and we all can have them from each other when you really think about it. Uh, I mainly label stuff and now and sometimes use the iPhone, uh, and I can call Ira or um, Be My Eyes or just seeing AI. I didn't want to get into technology, but I don't label as much now as I did. I used to braille everything, but the thing is, people can maybe come up with their different technique of how you label something as well. And so, uh, and I would say if you are just starting to be visually impaired, just do one thing at a time that you really want to do. And as for boiling water, you can hear it when you put it on the stove. It depends if it's an electric stove or a gas stove. The gas stove would come up uh, soon. The electric takes a little bit, but you would be able to hear the noise of the water. And that's how you can tell. Or you could, maybe well, I have a tea kettle, but that's just for tea, so that wouldn't really count unless you're coming to tea at my house. So anyway,
Oh,
yes,
Are we
yeah.
invited?
yes, you're invited. Yeah, yeah, you're invited. Yeah, why not?
Thank you.
Why
Well,
not? Why
Vicki,
not?
it's so great that you mentioned, technology, and I'm that's one of the things that I'm really excited to hear from our other members, that you and Sam have given us an opportunity to learn more from each other about how people possibly use, AI and the different apps, for just everything these days. What do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Me or Sam?
Well, either one. Yeah.
Yeah, so this session, it's not going to be a technology heavy session.
No,
I
no,
know that now I'm not saying that we have to rule out discussion of technology altogether. I think talking about technology is fine, but what we don't want this to turn into is a session where people are just recommending apps and
right.
devices and gadgets,
Right.
right? Because not
Right.
everybody has those things and not everybody can afford those things. And I think we want to make this more about like techniques and
Yes.
practical things that people can do, here
Mm-hmm.
and now to make their lives easier and to allow
Mm-hmm.
them to be more independent. So certainly, there's no question that technology, as Vicky had just alluded to, right? She labels things less because she's able to use her phone to identify things, and that's very true. I use my phone when I need to if I'm unable to identify something, and we had a speaker at one of our monthly meetings, uh, Jeannie Johnson, talk about what are called small electrics or small appliances like
Mm-hmm.
air fryers, pressure cookers, right? All of these different appliances that
Mm-hmm.
blind and visually impaired people are using to make meal preparation a lot easier. And there are a lot of those different devices out there. And of course, with the
Mm-hmm.
phone, getting assistance, either remote assistance from a human or many of the artificial intelligence apps, such as
Mm-hmm.
Vicky mentioned Be My Eyes, and there's also Seeing AI. There are many apps that will
Mm-hmm.
you can either take a picture of something and it will describe the image to you, or you
Mm-hmm.
can have it read text or read labels. There are apps and there are devices that you can use essentially as electronic labels. So you can, affix a label that has like a barcode or something on it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can
Mm-hmm.
scan that label with your phone or with the device, and it will read back to you what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So there
Mm-hmm.
are many different types of technologies and products and apps that can make
Yes.
identifying and using and you know accomplishing tasks a
Mm-hmm.
lot easier in the home. And so
Mm-hmm.
we certainly will touch on that, but
Right.
it really is going to be focused more on technique and
Mm-hmm.
practical tips for being
Right.
more independent.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
as much as we do love technology, getting back to basics is important. Like you say, I remember when I became newly blind, And one of the things that I just discovered for myself was I use my rugs in my home kind of as runways to help
Oh,
me know where I
Oh,
am.
that's nice.
that is good.
They're runners through my house to guide me from one room or one place to the other. And that's very hands-on kind of low tech
That's very innovative.
knowledge that it helped me a lot when I first became blind. So, I'm just thrilled that learning from each other is what it's all about, and that's why we're coming together,
That's right.
in one place at the convention.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to end with Maria.
Okay, well, the last question is before we end, how will you two encourage people, or how would you encourage them for in attending this convention? How do you convince them that it is really worth it to attend this convention or this workshop of yours?
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay. Yes. If I had to tell people, I would say, please come to the convention and tell them all the different things that we're going to do. And if they say, well, I don't know anybody there, and just say you will, in probably 10 or 15 minutes, you'll be talking to other people as well. And so I hope that we do have a good turnout, and I have it in my mind that we really will. And so, what else was I going to say? Just if someone says, I don't know my way around the hotel, somebody else in the hotel could show you where to go to find your room and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
in hotels, of course, they have braille and print numbers by each room.
And we have
So
a lot of volunteers, by the way.
yes. Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. That's nice too.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so I would just say to people, be yourself, and just come and have a good time, as well as
Exactly.
learn things. And and like I say, if it's a newly blind person, just take things not all at once, but just come anyway, and you'll learn a lot of techniques and meet a lot of nice people.
That's right. How about you, Mr. Sam? Do you have any parting words for that?
Certainly. So I've been involved in the planning of the programming for the convention as part of the program planning committee, and we certainly have some exciting sessions planned for the convention. I don't know if you're planning on doing any podcast episodes about any of the other convention sessions,
We
but
certainly are. Yes.
okay.
We're gonna be there.
Okay, well, just very briefly, I'll just mention there's going to be one about technology and AI. There's going to be a session about advocacy. There's going to be a session about emergency preparedness, and there's going to be one about
Yes.
fall prevention. So there's going to be a lot of informative sessions. Vicki
Mm-hmm.
touched on the networking, and that really is the reason to go in person. That's the reason I go in person, because even the national conventions, you can attend those virtually now, and you can attend this convention virtually. And if you're unable to attend in person, then I encourage you to attend virtually because of all the information that you'll get, and getting to meet other members and interact with them. And of course, in person, you'll be able to do that much more. You'll be able to break bread together, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have vendors. We're going to have exhibits. I don't know if you're going to be talking about the convention in general in any of the episodes, but we are going to have an exhibit hall, and we're going to have a silent auction. So you could come home with maybe some tasty treats baked by Vicki.
Yes,
It's very
exactly.
possible.
Tell me what you
And
want. Tell me what you
Yeah.
want.
and and
Maria is the cook as well. So
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, we'll have to compare recipes, Maria.
I know we can, but
I
well,
know.
actually, the convention, the silent auctions, and all that stuff are gonna be talked about to us by none other than Teresa, our lovely Teresa.
mhm.
well, we just thank you both, Sam and Vicki, for joining us
Yes,
today
it's our
and
pleasure.
sharing
Oh,
so
it was
much
wonderful.
great information about the workshop and the convention. To learn more about the convention itself and registering, of course, you can look at our go to our website at acbva.org and sign up and register today. Time October will
Yes.
be here before you know it. And so we thank you, Maria, for being such a wonderful co-host and
I love to be your co-host,
your
but I
yeah.
cannot by
and,
far
yeah, and so we're
be
going to,
as enthusiastic as you are, as I've always stated.
and
And thank
so
you
we're
for the guests for being so thorough. You
yes,
really did a
yes.
very clear
Great
explanation.
information. Great.
Yes.
And we're going to end with great information about our fundraising efforts.
Mm-hmm.
Teresa Breeden, our treasurer, always closes out our show, giving
Mm-hmm.
our listeners and viewers and potential sponsors information about opportunities to help support ACBVA in our efforts.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Deborah and Maria. And thank you to Sam and Vicki for coming and giving us some great information. So, fundraising fun is here. The road to 2025 ACBVA convention is paved with some awesome fundraising opportunities, and we want you to join the fun. We have a Scentsy sale going on until the end of September. Stock up on some of your favorite scents while supporting ACBVA. They have cozy wax warmers and the warmers themselves and some other goodies. We are currently having a tote bag fundraiser. So grab our heavy duty navy tote bag with a zipper and pocket. Perfect for events, errands, and showing off your ACBVA pride. Also, we have just started our t-shirt sale. Fresh, comfy cotton shirts with our logo. Wear it, share it, and help spread the word. We do accept Zelle, PayPal, credit card, and check. The t-shirts and tote bags will be available at our convention in October for purchase. If you are interested, you can send me, Teresa, an email at communications@acbva.org, O-R-G, and ask any kind of questions. I will also have it linked in the description box, the drop-down description box, any links that will take you to the fundraisers that are available for sale. Let's see, what else do we have going on? They brought up that we're having our silent auction. So we're looking for items to be donated, whether they're handmade or purchased. You can get in touch with Donna. I will have her email linked in the description box as well. And we are definitely and always looking for sponsors and donations. And I will have that information in the description box as well. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. And once again, that email address is communications@acbva.org. Stay tuned during our live broadcast for updates and shout outs. Once again, the links will be available in the drop-down box. And let's make fundraising fun, fabulous, and full of community spirit.
I can't wait.
Yes, thank you so much,
Thank you so
Teresa.
much.
And we always end our show just encouraging our viewers to continue to use your voice and share your vision. Stay tuned with us for our next show. Look on our website, Facebook page, and YouTube to get our upcoming schedule. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye for now.
everybody.
Thank
Have a good
you.
Bye.
day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been the American Council of the Blind of Virginia's Voices of Vision. We hope you enjoyed the show. Music by Sam Lupica. Visit our website at acbva.org. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe with us on our YouTube channel. Email your story ideas to communications@acbva.org.